Executive members of the Presbyterian Secondary Schools Board of Education, the Right Reverend Daniel Chance, moderator of the Synod of the Presbyterian Church of Trinidad and Tobago, Ms. Karen Bally, principal acting of Naparima Girls High School, principals, teachers, staff of the various secondary schools, specially invited guests, our featured speaker for today, Mr. Anthony Watkins, my friend, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is a pleasure to be here. Every time I come to our Presbyterian school hall, it reminds me very much of the school hall that I spent 7 years being a part of, and so it's a pleasure really to be here. I am a proud product of the Presbyterian education system, and today is a bittersweet day for me as I spend this time with you. Because as we know, and as was mentioned and given honor and tribute, we have the celebration of the life of Dr. Anna Mahase, whom I feel very privileged to have been a student under. And I can tell you that her influence, in great part, accounts for a lot of my professional development today. As a student of Anna Mahase, and I heard one person recite that Latin motto so quickly, I'm sure she may have been a student of SATS. So we have at least one other person here. But if you were privileged to experience the leadership of Dr. Mahase, it was very difficult to not be awed, impressed, and almost drawn into a web, her web. When Dr. Mahase was coming to your class, you smelled the perfume at least 6 feet in front of her. You heard the steps, and in the stride alone, you understood that this woman meant business. It wasn't a pattering stride. And she was a slight woman, but that stride was so heavy. You heard it all the way down the corridor, and you immediately understood that if you were doing anything that was out of the school code, to brace yourself immediately and shape up. She did not stand for anything but excellence and discipline. And she spoke to us often about what she expected of us. She spoke to us about what it meant to be a SATS girl and what she expected of us, both in school and out of school. And her influence, I can tell you, was so very strong that we all aspired to be exactly what she expected us to be. She stood for dignity. She spoke for excellence, equality, and equity. It is the first time I experienced someone saying to the students of a school, "You will wear washikons. You will wear washikons to school because all of you are equal when you get into this gate." And we wore washikons. And we understood it and what it symbolized. Equity, equality, acceptance. And I cannot help but reflect on the lessons she taught me, because these are the same principles that guide my tenure as Minister of Education. And when we speak about cultural transformation in our schools, as all of our teachers and principals would understand, it is not anything new. It is simply trying to extend to all of our students the possibility for excellence in different areas. It is trying to extend to all of our students the experience that I know many of the students would receive as a student of the Presbyterian Board School of Education. Because there is a synergy, and I imagine it is meetings like these, and it is meetings of principals that allow the Presbyterian schools to maintain a standard of excellence across the board that has a very serious impact on society. Because we don't know where these children under our care will reach. We don't know what positions of leadership, and I can assure you, as a student at SACS, I never thought that this would be my position, or some may say my portion, at this time. But the preparation that Anna Mahase and her team of teachers would have given at that time was critical in shaping a leader. And this is what we are all called to do. And our teachers are the ones that drive it and that interact with our students and bring the transformation that is required. Smoothen out the rough edges. Show our students what it means to be ideal citizens. It is our teachers. It is our principals. And if all of us were to do this with all that we have, then our country would be a much better place. And if we were to have the support of all of our parents in doing that, then our country would be a much better place. I ask you to think today about if we were to tell all of our children to wear washikongs to school. Just consider it. What would be the reaction of the children, of the parents? What would be the reaction? But this was in the 1990s. And this was the level of discipline and compliance that was able to come from one school under the leadership of one principal. And I dare say that when we speak about cultural transformation, it is not so much what we want to become. It is these things that we want to reignite. These understandings of how important discipline is to our students and our citizens and our country. Important as a watchword, but even more important in the way we embrace it within our school culture. And I want to congratulate and thank the Presbyterian schools for what you have been doing and what you continue to do and what you have done, not just for the students in front of you, but for Trinidad and Tobago. And as we embrace cultural transformation, as we encourage our teachers to harken back to what existed before, we are doing it with a view of what we have lost over the years and what we need to regain if we want to progress Trinidad and Tobago in the way that we know we want it to be. We want a better country. We all want to see things change in our country for the better. Some of the things we've lost, we want to see them come back. But we are not going to get them back by just wanting it. We are only going to get them back by hard work, dedication, and commitment over years. So it's no magic wand. It's us putting in the work. Us speaking to our students some more, because you know what? They're not getting, some of them, that admonition from home. They're not getting it in the churches because they're not there. So sometimes teachers, we are going to be the only ones between those children and their futures. And our influence is going to make a lot of difference. I'm sure we could all remember some of our teachers from our secondary school experience or primary school experience, and the influence they would have had on our lives. I'm sure we could remember our principles. So as we strive to serve our country, let us strive to do so in the way that we know is best. We have an opportunity and a privilege. May not seem so every day, and it may not feel like that on many occasions, because there are many challenges associated with doing what we have to do. However, we are blessed and privileged to be in these positions to influence the Trinidad and Tobago that we want. So let us all hold these thoughts and these ideals as we continue to do what God has blessed us with the privilege to do. And let us remember people like Dr. Anna Mahase, who served long and hard in the vineyard and who has influenced our country for the better. God bless us as we continue on, and God bless Trinidad and Tobago.